Okay, so it's on. Hello, Frederick. Bucket of Rock here. I'm here with Craig Taylor of Lushfarm, and we're here in Catonsville at Piece of Pizza, and they're dishing up pizza, and we're dishing up rock music. So, Craig, whenever I talk to you, it seems like you know a lot about Baltimore and the area. Did you grow up here, or is it from just being a musician in the area?
I grew up in Silver Spring, so about maybe like 45 minutes away from here. I went to UMBC, so I've been in the area for about 10 years now. Wasn't always big into the music scene because I used to just play by myself, not with myself. Well, that too.
It's a good distinction.
Yeah. So I wasn't really into like the whole band scene, but then once I started playing in a band and playing out more, I've met a lot of people. It's probably been about 6 years since I've been doing that. So yeah, I know a lot about the whole music scene, I guess.
Cool. All right, so tell us a little bit about the band. You guys have had some personnel changes over the year. Tell us who's in the band right now and what kind of their strengths are, and that doesn't necessarily mean the instrument that they play.
Our drummer, Benny, is a talker. His name is Greg Benny. I met him at Don Pablo's when I worked there like 6 years ago. We started a band together, and we've been playing together ever since. But we've had some lineup changes, like you said. Right now, our bass player is Krešimir Tokic. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
He's Croatian.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He is really technical. And that goes with not just the music, but everything. He's a really intelligent guy. That carries over into his bass playing. He's really simple, yet it's tasteful, yet complex and simple. I don't know. It's a big contradiction, I guess.
Right. Cool. So, what are some of your favorite places in Baltimore to play?
Actually, my one favorite place, it's Metro Gallery, which is where our CD release show is this Saturday, the 24th. Sarah, the owner, she's actually really good friends with Krešimir, the bass player, and she treats bands really well there. She's got the best policy as far as paying bands. Really good sound system. I also like Auto Bar, Sidebar. While it's a hole in the wall, it's like home base there.
Yeah.
I can play there any night of the week and feel at home. So.
Have you guys have played Auto Bar? Is that for BEMA? For the Baltimore?
Yeah, we've played there we've played there 4 or 5 times. The last time was for BEMA. Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of BEMA, tell us a little bit about it. That was during the hurricane, right? I mean, how did that go? Were you guys wearing your boots and paddling boats down the streets?
Well, sort of luckily. We played first on Friday at Auto Bar, so we played at like 7 o'clock, which was kind of it is a double-edged sword. I mean, we got our set over with and the power didn't go out, which was kind of iffy. But we also played to the other bands, so there weren't that many people there when we played. But as far as there was like 8 bands on that bill, so it was a good experience. Just we met a lot of people and stuff. And then the next day, I went to 2 different shows. I went to a Cyclops book show and then a Fraser's show. And while I was at Fraser's, I live in Hamden. Fraser's is in Hamden. The power at my house went out, but the power at Fraser's was still on. So I got to drink late.
Yeah. Right on. So other than the hurricane, what was maybe your biggest highlight of that whole festival?
The earthquake. Probably, okay, so this is one band that played at Fraser's. God, I can't remember what they're called, but, I gotta remember. Alto Verde, they played, and the singer was so drunk that he was like, I'm too drunk right now, and he had to walk off stage. And I thought that was kind of admirable, but also kind of a cop-out. It was pretty cool. I mean, I had to give it up for him.
So rock and roll.
Yeah, it was respectable. So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing that happened that I'd never seen before.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're in that situation, I guess it's better to make that call than.
I didn't notice anything was going wrong, but the bass player was like, yeah, he was messing up all over the place.
Nice. So you guys have a new album out entitled
Lushfarm.
Lushfarm.
Self-titled.
Self-titled. All right. I've been listening to it the last couple of days, and it's got just a ton of influences from like the mid '90s on it. I mean, I could pick out a whole bunch of different things. One song sounds like British pop, but from Oasis, and then I pick up influences of like Our Lady Peace, maybe not quite as whiny, but sort of that smarter lyrically.
Sure.
What went into it for you? What was your major influences on that album? I guess emotionally and musically.
musically, it's always a different thing. I mean, I never really like try to write a song that sounds like something. It's always afterwards I'm like, oh, that sounds like a Smashing Pumpkins song, or that sounds like a Pearl Jam song. My favorite band is Smashing Pumpkins, so I would say that that's probably the underlying most of my songwriting, because it was such a big influence on me when I was growing up. But Fleet Foxes were a huge influence on me in the last couple of years. I think the song Conestoga kind of has a little element of that, like in the middle section. Maybe I'm tooting my own horn there. I don't know. Emotionally, it's just about being dissatisfied with where you're at in life, kind of, which I've always sort of felt. Not like a huge dissatisfaction, but something that you can kind of get over, and you shouldn't ignore it. You shouldn't just like leave what you're doing and try to replace your surroundings to replace things that are inside you. You should work on yourself, which is part of the reason I say that I don't want to leave Baltimore in one of the songs. I'm not going to move to LA to try to become a big rock star or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, your songs are very serious and emotional most of the time, but in person you're a very kind of happy-go-lucky kind of guy, it seems.
Yeah,
it's kind of quite a contrast.
It's funny, like when we're playing live on the stage, like in between songs, sometimes I can be really funny. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in, but it tends to be like I think the other players in the band are kind of like, oh, it's Craig's comedy minute now, like in between songs. They're like, all right, just play the next song. Right. But yeah, I like that kind of duality, I guess. I like to be because that's how life is. That's how people are. They have good moods, they have bad moods. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're serious, and that's just the way that I am. So I guess it would come through in the music as well.
So I guess what's next for you guys as far as the band goes?
Taking over Europe, pretty much. We're starting with France.
How about the kids in front of us first? I think you already have a fan base.
There we go. It's all about the kids. It's all about the kids. I don't know. I think we're just going to record and try to play out of town more. Go to North Carolina and New York and Philly and stuff, and just try to build up a fan base in those places, so that whenever we do go out, people will come out and see us again.
Cool. So besides music, what do you geek out on the most?
I don't know. Probably I like TV a lot. I like to watch some TV shows, particularly like funny shows. The Office I was really into. I'm not so into it now because they're taking it too far, I think. I look forward to the new season. TV is a really bad answer. I work at a music store, so I really like guitars.
So basically the answer is just music?
Music, yeah, pretty much.
That's okay.
Our fans are gone.
Yeah, sort of.
Oh, here he comes.
Cool. So I just heard the news today that REM retired. How does that affect you? Are you going to be able to go on with your life, Craig?
Yes, actually. Unfortunately, I will be able to go on with my life. I'm not going to commit suicide.
Okay.
No, I liked some of REM stuff. They're really hit or miss for me, but I'm glad that they're going out on sort of a high note, I guess. I don't know. I don't think anything they put out in the last few years has been said it was bad or anything. It hasn't gotten really bad reviews. So I'm glad that they did what they did, and they are who they are. And I'm glad they broke up, because it's just a full circle. I have some closure now.
Right. I feel like they went gracefully.
Yeah, exactly.
Gracefully into the music.
Like Soundgarden.
Yeah.
And Soundgarden came back, and now go see them on tour.
Oh, are they touring?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess on that note, we'll head out of here. See you later, Frederick.
Thanks for listening.